Man, I do not like being sick. What's up, guys? Jason here, aspiring entrepreneur, showing you the day in the life of an entrepreneur, the hustle and grind before the funding, before the quote-unquote glory, or whatever. I gotta come up with a better tagline. Anyway, what I wanted to kick this day off with was something. I don't really have a cool name for it, so I'm just gonna kind of dive into, talk about excuses, if you will. And I know this is a really big thing in the personal development space, and the inspirational quotes. Don't let this hold you back. Don't let that hold you back. All the excuses, and those types of excuses, saying like, I don't know how to do this, so I can't do it. That's one type of excuse. Another type of excuse is a limiting belief, and I just don't mean a limiting belief about yourself. I mean limiting beliefs about the way things are done or the way the world works. And I think those types of excuses are the ones that we need to look out for the most, because they're the type of excuses that we don't know they're an excuse. I mean, when you come home and you're really tired, it's been a long day, maybe your boss is, maybe you're not blessed with a nice boss like I do, and he or she has just drained you, and you come home and your excuse for not working on whatever you want to do is, oh, I'm tired. See, that's an excuse. That's something that we see and we can combat. However, there's other excuses or limiting beliefs about how the world works that hold us back. So I'll just use a personal example. I'm working on one of the startups I'm consulting with. We thought we had to build something from scratch, and we thought we had to do something a certain way with the databases, and it just randomly so happened that we were looking at a solution for something else, for a completely different client, right? For a completely different client, and then all of a sudden we came across this article or piece of code, if you will, and we realized, wait a second, we don't have to build the database this way. We don't have to code it this way. We can just use this. And it was this huge weight that was just lifted, where all of a sudden we went from, oh my gosh, we've got to figure this out, we've got to hire this special type of coder to architect this special type of thing, to, oh, it's right there, we can just do it. And then all of a sudden, when those types of limiting beliefs or excuses, I'm jumping back and forth because I don't know what to call them yet. When you realize those things, all of a sudden you go, there's no excuse. There's no reason we can't do this now, right? Because there always seems to be a legitimate reason for not doing it now, right? You don't have the funding. For me it was, I don't have enough money for Facebook ads. Oh, I don't know how to do SEO, so why would I write a blog post and not have and not get any traffic to my site? That would stink, right? Or how about these vlogs? Oh, I don't have a camera. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Oh, I, am really shy in talking in front of a camera. Oh, I don't really have great editing skills. Oh, I don't have time to edit videos. Instead, I just do black screens like this with a bunch of words on them, right? Because I'm still working, just like the rest of you. I have a job, and then I have, my side hustle, and I've got my coaching and consulting, students and clients. So I don't have time to do all that other cool fancy stuff that some of the full-time bloggers have. But you know what I do have? I do have a phone, which is what I'm using. It's funny, one of the comments was, kind of like your stuff, but it could use some polish. And yeah, it could use some polish because I'm using a little $15 tripod to hold this phone up, and I went on Amazon. I'll drop links below to what I'm using so you guys can see. And I mean, for about $100, I turned my phone into a camera. I slapped a wide angle lens on it. That's why when you see on the edges, everything's kind of curved. And that's simply the limitation of using a camera to vlog. But once I realized, like, hey, you just gotta do it, then all of a sudden the excuses go away. And I'll tell you, when you'll know that you've got that experience or that feeling when all of a sudden a huge weight is lifted. So what happens, number one, is you realize, oh my gosh, I thought you had to do ABC. Actually, that's not true. Now I can do this. I really can do this. So this weight will lift, and then you'll know that you're ready to hit the ground running when all of a sudden this tidal wave of just overwhelm hits you and you go, no, I can do it now. Like, there's no excuses. So my challenge to you today, and I'm talking a lot because today's another social day with a bunch of meetings and a networking event, so I don't know if I'm gonna have the bravery to walk around vlogging there. Anyway, what I wanted to just start this day off with and lead you guys with is to look at why you're not doing something. Not necessarily because, oh, I'm tired, or, oh, I don't have enough money, but really evaluate your beliefs on how things work. I think that's the biggest area that we tend to get blindsided, because it's really easy to see, oh, I didn't work yesterday because I was tired, so maybe I should wake up in the morning and work early instead of trying to do it after work. Those things are obvious. What's not obvious is when you say something like, oh, I can't vlog because I can't afford $1,000 camera. Guess what? Use your phone, just get started. It's gonna stink. I mean, these aren't the most polished things in the world. I'm not pretending like they are, but you know what? I just got started, I did it. You know, with the coding example, I thought we had to do things a specific way with the databases and the architecture on the back end. I'm not a coder, so that's all I can say without sounding too silly or unintelligent. And then just going and finding an expert or someone else who understood how those things worked and said, just pretty much just in the article, just said, oh, you could just do this, or you can just buy this script and be done with it. We're like, what? You could do that? So you want to look for as many times as possible to have that feeling of, oh, I can do that? That's when you know that you're breaking through a limiting belief, or, you know, just some false information you've been told. And that's another big thing is, you know, false information. So just wanted to share that with you, that big epiphany, that moment where now I've gone from, okay, we need to wait, we need to be patient, to, no, it's now. So every day that it's not happening, it's completely on me. And when you can get to that point, you'll have a lot more energy. It's certainly a lot more pressure. I believe that's why I got sick again. I think this is the third time in a month that I've been sick, even though I've been getting my full night's rest. I've been working out. You know, sometimes our bodies just can't take it. So, you know, I've gone a little too hard, but just wanted to share that with you, get to that point. So it's time for me to head off to the co-working space, have a meeting with one of my co-founders, and then get to work.
No problem. Did you?
About to start the phone call.
My friend.
I am just in absolute shock right now. Like, that was crazy. Crazy how kind of simple that's gonna be, right?
Speak for yourself.
He doesn't think so. Yeah, I think it's doable. I think it's doable. Wow, that was a crazy conversation. You know, one of those things where we scheduled it, I think last Friday or something. So it's been a week in the making, just getting queuing up all these questions, and the answers were really good. And I don't mean like, oh, we're evaluating them. I mean like good in the sense that we can do this. Like, this is going to work. Dinner time! So, just finished dinner and went to turn on my little Hoover Quest vacuum. Turns out the little guy is all jammed up. So, really kind of irrelevant to business, but just want to share sometimes you go down to get some work done and instead you get to fix a Roomba or Hoover Quest 700 or whatever the heck this thing is called. But definitely recommend these guys because it's super cool. You just turn it on, cleans your, vacuums up your apartment. And if you did the math on how long you spent like sweeping and vacuuming the floors versus just picking one of these up and scheduling it to go, I think it's definitely worth it. So you definitely don't have to get like the $2,000, iRobot, latest iRobot or whatever. This guy will do. Just got a little jammed up, so get to fix that. Yes!
All right, Hoover vacuum is fixed, and charging cable for the laptop is dead. So fix one thing, found another thing that's broken. Oh well, so now it's time. It's 6 o'clock Friday night. I can officially sign off and say sayonara to all communications for the weekend. So clients, customers, coaching students, unless we have a pre-planned session. I know a couple of you guys do tomorrow. I am essentially off the grid, so I can really focus and hone in on everything I need to do to set up things for success next week, and then also just big projects. So this big project right now is redoing my website. Now, there is a lot of things I could rant about for websites, but I'll just start with this. If you're just getting started, you really only need one page. You need one page, and it should be a landing page. I'll leave a link in the description. Of course, you can see the panning screenshot here of what my homepage looks like. You can check out the business building from scratch series, but really all you need is one page saying who you are and what you do. And you don't even have to say really focus on who you are, just focus on what you do. So if someone comes to your page, you immediately answer what do you do and why it's important to them, and then that's it. That's all you need. You're just getting started. There's so many other more important things you could be focusing on, like driving traffic, building your brand on social media, figuring out how to run ads, and split testing your landing pages, figuring out who your ideal customer is, your target, blah, blah, blah. And in the beginning, nobody really cares what your website looks like. I know for the Wealth Titans, I redid my website, I think 5 times. And I spent more money redoing that main website than I think I ever wound up making with the entire business. Now, that's also because I went super grandiose, so I don't think any of you are as ridiculous as I was with the grand plan that I had and the ridiculous amount of hiring I went through to find a essentially designer and developer who could do the crazy idea I had in my head, when all along all I really needed was a page or two. And you can always expand out from there. I'll drop some links to, some page builders I like. I like ClickFunnels. I like OptimizePress. Elegant Themes is great too. That's what I'm using right now. And you just really want to keep it simple, really want to keep it lean. So I'll be sharing, what the final product looks like. Found a pretty talented guy on pretty talented. That's mean. I found a talented guy on Fiverr who's going to be able to put together a couple of pages that I want. I'm also consolidating. One of my other issues is I hold like 30 domains right now. That is a big no-no. That's a really big no-no. So consolidating down, I don't need 10 different websites for, I have one website for each book. I have one website for a product, blah, blah, blah. I just need to crunch it all down so that I can move forward, and I stop getting notifications that I need to pay for this hosting or I need to renew this domain, because it's just distracting and it's not allowing me to stay focused on the one thing that I should be focused on right now. And that's one of the things, just sharing with you guys, is it's really easy to fall into entrepreneur ADD and have all these other things going around and say, oh, I need this website. Oh, I need this URL. Oh, I need this, one website for this book, and I need a website for that book. I think I have like three or four different book websites, and they're for things that I'm not even actively pursuing anymore. So it's kind of like, why am I paying for them? Why are they up? Why are they giving me a headache? So consolidating all those things down, and it's just time to get to work. If you ever wonder why I kind of end these so early, around 6 or 7, that's because to really do deep, meaningful work, and this is something I'll share with you guys. I'm reading going through a book about it right now, is, I can't vlog and solely focus at the same time. So that's another reason why I only do these once a week right now. I'm going to have to figure out how to be able to do that deep focus work and still do these vlogs for you guys at the same time. So anyway, it's time for me to get to work. I've got another 4 or 5 hours before it's time to go to bed, and in that time I'm going to write all the copy for my new website, and then get designs, figure out what goes where, and ship that all off to him so he can get started. And of course, I'll share with you guys the finished product. Hopefully it looks good. Cross my fingers on that one. You never really know. So until next week, keep building the business you love. Take care.